Good evening to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Let us start the session with a nice quote. What is today's quote? The man who does not read books has no advantage over the one who cannot read them. So, what does it mean? On the one hand, we have those who can read they have the ability to read, but don't read. On the other hand, we have those who cannot read. Now, when it comes to between the two, there's no difference whatsoever. It is as good as you cannot read. A very useful quote. The message over here, when you have the ability to read, you have to read good books so that you transform and become a better person. Coming to today's enrichment, today you're going to get a lot of new words and also you're going to work on a few important exam topics. But we'll start with the phrasal verb. What is the phrasal verb of the day? A run into. A run into to meet someone you know when you're not expecting to. You don't expect someone at a particular place, but you see that person, then you say, I ran into so and so person. Here, examples, he ran into his childhood friend in the theater. We ran into bad weather, death, trouble. The second example deals with the second meaning of the phrasal verb, run into. One meaning run into to meet someone by chance. You can also say bump into, but that is rather informal. And the second meaning to experience something bad or negative. Based on that, look at the examples. We ran into bad weather, we ran into debt, we ran into trouble, we ran into financial troubles. A different meaning altogether. And what are the word combinations? Friend, classmate, the first meaning, and the second meaning problems, debt, troubles, etc. Let us go to the editorial vocabulary. The first one, viable, I have already done, so don't get disturbed with all these marking, the marks. Viable part of speech adjective, it means capable of working successfully. But in a nutshell, you can think of the word viable means feasible. And if you wonder, feasible means what? Possible. And as a prospective banker, you have to know this word viable. What is the reason? Tomorrow you get the job, you become a bank manager. Someone comes with a project asking you for a loan. When you go to the project, you get only one question pops up. Is this commercially viable? Is it a viable project? And based on that, you decide whether to give the loan or not. Bid has two different meanings. One meaning it goes with auction. In an auction, everyone bids, the bidding. You say 1,000, someone says 2,000. But in the context of the editorial, bid means make an effort or attempt to achieve something. You can say attempt or effort to achieve something. Bid to get success, attempt to get success. A different meaning altogether. Brainstorming is an important word. What does it mean? Again, tomorrow you get the job, you become a manager. In the organization, there's an important problem. Then all the managers, people of the same level or peers, they have a meeting and they go in for brainstorming session. Literal meaning group discussion to produce ideas or solve problems. But practically, brainstorming means whenever there's a problem, you think of the problem and you allow the ideas to come out. Whatever comes to your mind, you make a note. They could be relevant, they could be silly, they could be important, they could be not related to the topic. But you don't allow the ideas to, you don't try to control your ideas, a free flow of ideas or thoughts. That is known as precisely brainstorming. Then in the second round, you keep what is relevant, what is important, and you discard what is not important. You all know the word draw. Draw has many meanings. Draw water from a well, a different meaning altogether. Usually it goes with painting, I'm sure you all know. But here we have a phrasal verb. What is a phrasal verb? Draw up. Prepare a plan, agreement, or other document in detail. It goes with a plan. Draw up a plan to achieve success. Draw a plan to achieve success. Means what? Have a plan to achieve success. Make the blueprint. And the next one, commendable, we have got many a time. I use regularly. And what are the word combinations here? Commendable job, commendable work means deserving praise. I also give the expression praiseworthy, deserving praise or praiseworthy, commendable. Skeptic, we have got many a time, a person inclined to question or doubt accepted opinions. Doubt. This is in a way a neutral word, nothing wrong, but beyond a limit, not acceptable. Whenever I talk about the word skeptic, students come up with another word, but they're entirely different. What is the other word over here? Cynical. Cynical means always negative. Then we also say conversation English, sick attitude. Sick, sick attitude. And here, if you take, you can, based on the attitude, you can think of words like optimist, positive attitude, pessimist, negative attitude. And rung. I hope it looks like a ladder. If you take a ladder, you have the wooden pieces horizontal position for support, and those wooden pieces are known as rungs, literal meaning. But actually, a rung in the context of the editorial, the layers of the society. If you take a society, we have so many levels. Each level, each layer can be referred as a rung. You all know the word envy. Envy means what? Jealous, jealous of someone, envious. But what is the word over here? Unenviable, part of speech adjective. Difficult, undesirable, or unpleasant. Here you have to recollect one idiom. Green eyed monster, that is also an important word, an important idiom. Unenviable position or situation. No one wants to be in that situation, no one wants to be in that position because it is difficult, undesirable, or unpleasant. Heartland, an important word, though we got, I think at the time of COVID, we got this once or twice. The central or most important part of a country, area, or field of activity. But in this context, the central part of the country, heartland, an important word. Induction. Tomorrow you get the job. The first day you go to an office or you go to the bank, someone receives you and talks about your responsibilities, introduces your colleagues. The whole process is called induction. Induct is a verb, induction, noun form. Admit someone formally to a post or organization. Reinforce, we have got many a time, part of speech verb. Strengthen or support an object or substance, especially with additional material. Already you have something, you try to strengthen it with additional material, then we use the word reinforce. Pinnacle also you can say, but it's a different meaning altogether. Pinnacle means a peak, not related to heartland, Pandu. And expands discontent. Content means happy, contented person, happy, self-satisfied. And opposite, discontent, dissatisfaction with one's circumstances, lack of contentment means lack of satisfaction. Expanse we got last week, I suppose. Part of speech noun, a wide continuous area of something. Usually it goes with land area. It's a word that goes with geography, you can say, or geology. But it can also go with people, groups, continuous without any break, we say, expands. Enchantment, a positive word, being happy, feeling happy. And what is the opposite of that? Disenchantment, a feeling of disappointment about someone or something you previously respected. You respected someone and you got disappointed for some reason. Then you have to use a word disenchantment. A run up to also we got a few times. It goes with elections, the final period of time before an important event. Important event 2024 elections. The final period before elections, we are swat actually, SWATHE, swaths of something. A run up to the elections. These are the words from today's editorial. Now let us go to the tone of the editorial. The tone of the editorial is largely informative and analytical, complete analysis and objective. The author presents an evaluation of the Congress Working Committee and its recent composition, how it has been formed, and what are the various groups that have been taken into consideration. discussing its significance, importance, and implications. What are the implications of the new Congress Working Committee? The tone is objective. I have given many a time. There are two important words which you got to remember and have at your fingertips. One is objective, the other is subjective. What is a subjective statement? A personal opinion. What is an objective statement? Something based on facts. And discussion is based on objective statements. Argument is based on personal opinions. That's why we say never argue, always try to discuss. Offering an assessment of the efforts made by party president Mallikarjun Kharge to enhance diversity, improve diversity and representation within the Congress Working Committee. How does the editorial start? Election and selection. On the new Congress Working Committee, there are two words, election and selection, related to what? The new Congress Working Committee. But what is the main idea of this editorial? The Congress needs to be truly representative to make a viable bid for power. Elections are fast approaching. Every party wants to make a viable bid for power to get power. And based on this editorial, the editor opines the Congress needs to be truly representative. Needs to be. Here the subject is third person singular, sentences in present tense, affirmative. So we should add s or es to the verb. Based on that, the Congress needs to be what? Truly representative. Means it has to represent, related to the Congress Working Committee, the different sections of the society. To make, why should the Congress Working Committee do that? Why should it do that? Because to make a viable bid for power, viable means feasible, bid means attempt for power to win elections. Achieving the ambitious goals of social representation in the Congress Working Committee that the Congress set for itself at its brainstorming session in Udaipur in May 2022 was never going to be easy. In a nutshell, the sentence talks about the Congress party had a brainstorming session. When did it have this brainstorming session? On May 20 in May 20, 2022. And where was it? In Udaipur. In that brainstorming session, they had ambitious goals relating to what? Social representation in the Congress Working Committee. But the editorial says achieving the ambitious goals of social representation in the Congress Working Committee and these ambitious goals that were set, the Congress set for itself at its brainstorming session in Udaipur in May 2022 was never going to be easy. I'm rather surprised here it has to be, is never going to be easy, but I don't know why was has been used. In my opinion, it should be, is never going to be easy because it refers to future. It took party president Mallikarjun Kharge nearly 6 months after he was authorized by the Raipur session of the All India Congress Committee, AICC, in February 2023 to finally announce the new Congress Working Committee on Sunday, which also happened to be the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. See, one sentence looks like a paragraph, such a lengthy sentence, but easy to understand. The president was authorized to announce the Congress Working Committee. But to announce the Congress Working Committee after being authorized, he took almost 6 months. What is the time taken? It took party president Mallikarjun Kharge nearly 6 months from when after he was authorized. Here past, here again past in passive voice. He was authorized by the Raipur session of the All India Congress Committee in Feb 2023 to finally announce the new Congress Working Committee on Sunday. And that particular Sunday happens to be some sort of coincidence with what, which also happened to be the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. While combining experience and youth, he took into consideration two factors: one, experience, the other one, youth. While combining experience and youth, Mr. Karge has draw up means what? To prepare a plan, a list that is significantly enhances diversity. Significantly means importantly, enhances means improves diversity in the party's highest decision making body. Here, in the party's highest decision making body, that is the Congress Working Committee. His opponent in the 2022 election for the top post, Sashi Tharoor, finds a place. Before Congress, Rahul Gandhi initially he did not want to be the party president, and then there was a contest, and two names are popped up. One Mallikarjun Kharge, the other one Shashi Tharoor, and Mallikarjun Kharge became the party president. Referring to that, his opponent in the 2022 election for the top post, that is the party president, Shashi Tharoor finds a place. He got a place in Congress Working Committee in a commendable appreciation. That is a good gesture, highly commendable, of, and it reflects internal democracy and an encouraging signal to many skeptics of the party. Because they have given a place to Shashi Tharoor in the Congress Working Committee, though he was opponent in 2022 party presidential elections, it is in a way, it shows that something highly appreciable when it comes to internal democracy and also an encouraging signal to many skeptics of the party. If you take any party, obviously everyone may not be have the same opinion. Some people may have their own doubts, skeptics, but for them it's an encouraging signal. Now he talks about the composition of the Congress Working Committee. Half the Congress Working Committee, excluding invitees, not considering invitees, are from scheduled castes, other backward classes, tribals, and minority communities or women, which meets the Udaipur ambition. What was the Udaipur ambition? To represent a lot of cross sections of the society, and it meets the expectations. But there are two categories, one appointed, the other invitees. But when invitees are accounted for, considered, the social composition tilts in favor of upper castes. That means more members from upper caste and minorities were taken into consideration, even as it meets the 50 under 50 age criteria. And to substantiate that, a few examples who were taken into Congress Working Committee, a number of fresh faces from the middle rungs, lower rung, middle rung, higher rung, here middle rungs, have made it to the list. An important expression, they have made it to the list means their names are there in the list. Former Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Chani, a Dalit leader at 60, and Kamleshwar Patel, the 49-year-old OBC leader from the election-bound Madhya Pradesh, are in. They are part of the Congress Working Committee. While Damodar Raj Narasimha, 64, from Telangana, is a permanent invitee. Perhaps they have two categories, one temporary, the other permanent. Now he talks about what lies ahead of the party president, Mr. Karge. Mr. Karge has the unenviable task. In this context, a difficult task or an uphill task of exercising his authority. Why is it difficult for him to exercise his authority while three members of the Gandhi family, Sonia, Rahul, and Priyanka, remain active? As long as they remain active, he cannot exercise his power or authority in the real sense. But he appears to be up to it. He appears to be up to it. Means he knows, he's prepared, and is going to face that. Up to it, an important expression. The list reflects, now it talks about who is there in the Congress Working Committee, what is the list. The list reflects the party's keen attention to the upcoming assembly elections in the heartland. What is the heartland in the context of the editorial? Madhya Pradesh. Chhattisgarh Minister Tamrajwaj Sahu, an influential OBC leader, is expected to play a crucial role. We expect him, active voice, he is expected, passive voice, to play what? A crucial role, an important role. Now it goes to Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, while the Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot is given a free hand, that means no restrictions whatsoever, to lead the charge, the induction of his challenger Sachin Pilot. Sometime back, there was a rift between Mr. Gehlot and Sachin Pilot, and somehow they sorted out. And the induction of his challenger Sachin Pilot and tribal leader Mahendrajit Singh Malviya to the Congress Working Committee is expected to reinforce party unity. Taking these people will strengthen the party unity. The party has tried to reassure discontented social groups. Some groups are not happy. They try to reassure and also assuage. We have got so many times alleviate, assuage, mitigate, reduce the intensity of something, the problems or pain. Rebellious leaders in various states, and the constitution of the new body is largely representative of the geographical and social expanse of India. Geographically and socially also, social expanse of India are largely representative. Though some disenchantment, disappointment might surface in the days ahead, an important expression, days ahead, in the coming future, the new Congress Working Committee reflects both imagination and compromise. Some creative dimension and some compromise both were considered. While this is a good start, editorial says the formation of this Congress Working Committee, it's a good start. But contrasting information, while this is a good start, there is more that the Congress needs to do. It is not over. There is something more the Congress needs to do. Again, it is in present active voice. To be truly representative of this diverse nation, they have to consider a lot of groups, a lot of sections of the society. Besides, in addition to that, strategizing for elections, they have to come up with strategies to win elections, and improving political communication. They have to politically communicate the party manifesto and becoming the center of gravity of opposition politics. Of late, the opposition conclaves and all, in those conclaves, the editorial says if they have to get to power, they have to be play a crucial role, and they have to become the center of gravity of opposition politics in the run up to 2024 elections. That's all about this editorial. Now let us go to questions based on this editorial to improve your reading comprehension skill. Who announced the new Congress Working Committee, and how long did it take after being authorized by the All India Congress Committee? Both the dimensions can be answered easily. How does the new Congress Working Committee enhance diversity within the party? Easy to answer, but you have to write in your own sentences. Who finds a place in the new committee as a commendable appreciation of internal democracy? Only one name you have to write, that is Shashi Tharoor. What is the social composition of Congress Working Committee when invitees are taken into account? Two separate categories. When it comes to invitees, what is the social composition? It tilts towards a particular group. You have to mention that group. What challenges does Mallikarjun Kharge face as he exercises his authority within the committee? Easy to answer. Let us go to practice questions based on exam topics. The first five questions, error location. And these are from the Hindu paper, last week editorial, one of the editorials, a bit challenging. Try to get all the uh, five questions, try to get 5 out of 5. Even though some state governments try to help such beneficiaries to access bank loans, financial institutions have been lukewarm in their responses, not quite enthusiastic, citing the lack of proof of sustained income. Sustained means maintained in this context. So, what is the answer for this? Where is the error? A lengthy sentence looks like a mini paragraph, but not that difficult to spot the error. Surprisingly, no one has responded. Even though some state governments try to help, whenever you come across the verbs help and make, you have to become alert because they are known as causative verbs. And what is a rule that goes with causative verbs? These causative verbs do not take the preposition to in active voice. They take the preposition to in passive voice, but they don't take in active voice. Based on that, in the second part, try to help such beneficiaries to access is not correct. Help the beneficiaries access bank loans, then it is correct. We should not use to. Help such beneficiaries access bank loans based on the causative verb help. Only a few students have responded. Not easy today, the questions. Try to spot the error. Question number 2. The committee's most significant recommendation is on the need to drop uniform and fixed assistance across country. It's always better if you write the rules. You will be able to remember. That will help in the long run. No one has answered question number 2. I'm waiting for your answer. Question number 2. No one has answered. That is a bit surprising. Fourth part. What is wrong with the fourth part? Who is that? Sindhu. You're right. There is an error in the fourth part, but what is wrong? Girija has got it right. Here, across country is not correct. We have to use a definite article there. Across the country, across the world, across something. We have to use a definite article there. Very good. That is not easy. And this question is based on one thing. It is based on the definite article there. It is also based on standard expression or a standard phrase, you can say. Let us go to question number 3. I appreciate all the students across the country. That's wonderful. This time, the objective should be to draft a foolproof scheme. That's an important expression you have to remember. So that housing for all no longer remain a slogan but becomes a reality in the tangible future. Tangible future, another important expression you have to remember. Tangible, something you can see or you can touch. What is the opposite word? Intangible. Now answer question number 3. Where is the error? Not that difficult. You should be able to answer. A lengthy sentence, perhaps you need some time to read and understand the context, but you should be able to. Very good. Who is this? Pandu is the first person to answer, and he got it right. After that, I see Tapa, then Sindhu. Very good. Wonderful. And Naresh, Madhav. Here, this time, nothing wrong. The objective should be to draft a foolproof scheme so that housing for all, a slogan, no longer remains a slogan but becomes. You should use a parallel expression. No longer remains a slogan but becomes a reality in the tangible future. Foolproof usually it goes with water. Who is this Madhav? But foolproof actually means you come up with a particular plan or a project, then we say foolproof means what? It is going to work. No unforeseen problems or unexpected problems, or it is something like perfect. Everything is in place and it is going to work. It won't fail. That's what it means. Please go to question number 4. Not a lengthy sentence, a short sentence. You should be able to get it right. To achieve gender equality, fundamental changes need to be made to shun all stereotypes. To achieve what? Gender equality. Fundamental changes need to be, then you got to become alert. You need to do something, something needs to be done by you. That means you have to understand and tell yourself that question demands knowledge related to passive voice. And any sentence, any pattern, whatever it is, if at all you have a sentence in passive voice, the main verb is always in past participle form. What is the verb over here? Make. Make, made, made. So make is not correct. It has to be. Need to be made to shun, avoid all stereotypes. In my opinion, an easy question. Let us go to question number 5. For some students, this may be a challenging question. First, you answer, then I will tell why it is challenging. It could be challenging for some students. And I would like to tell you guys, based on this particular question, in banks and SSC, they have given many a time, more than 20 times, because every time students get confused. The school then issued a warning to those who he had complained against. Wonderful. Who is this? Sindhu is the first one to get, and she got it right. No. he had complained against someone. Whom had he complained against? Here, if you think of the answer, he had complained against them. The focus is on the word them, that is an object. When you refer to the object, you should use whom, and when you refer to the subject, you have to use who. But here it refers to the object. Then we cannot say who. Whom he had complained against. Whom had he complained against? He had complained against them. So we should use. Under pressure, not easy. And this question is based on the difference between who and whom. The two interrogative pronouns. Who is used when we talk about the subject, and whom is used when we talk about the object. Who won the match? He won the match. Subject, he. Whom did you see yesterday? I saw him. Him is the object. If you remember this way, you don't get confused. Go to question number, this is a para jumble, not easy. You got to be a little careful. How many parts are here? 6 parts. First you take elimination approach. There is no subject, cannot be the first one. In the quest for equal rights for all, the Supreme Court of India could be, hold this one, laying down a set of do's and don'ts, perhaps, hold this also. To take on harmful gender, no subject cannot be. About women, no subject cannot be. Helps, no subject cannot be. The first one should be either B or C. So what is the first one here? I think today the lag time is, I've changed the slide, but I don't see, and I don't see your response. Thapa is the first one, and he got it right. In the quest for equal rights for all, the Supreme Court of India, then it becomes easy. The Supreme Court, singular, of India, and what has it done? Very good. I see Tirupati Rao has taken an important step by releasing guidelines, BA, guidelines for what? To take on, to deal with harmful gender stereotypes that perpetuate inequalities. So here we have BAD1 group. What is a group here? Now you try to read all the three. In the quest for equal rights for all, the Supreme Court of India has taken an important step by releasing guidelines to take on harmful gender stereotypes that perpetuate inequalities. Very good. First group is over. Go to the second one. If you get the first one in the second group, you can get the correct order. That should not be a problem. You all got the first part. Go to the second part. What is the fourth one? C. Laying down a set of do's and don'ts for judicial decision making and writing the handbook on combating gender stereotypes. Handbook, third person singular, sentence is in present, helps judges. Here you have C, and after that F. The handbook helps judges identify language that promotes archaic, old, and incorrect ideas. About whom? About women in particular, and offers alternative words and phrases. BAD1 group, CFE1 group. Wonderful. I see a lot of students have got the correct order. Highly appreciable. Now there is a small paragraph, and you see about 6 blanks. For each blank, you have to choose a word. Here you have the 6 words. And this is quite challenging because you have to understand the context and you have to know the word combinations, the word forms, a bit of grammar knowledge. Then you can get all the 6 correct. In the long run, this will help. What is the reason? Before, when you read a sentence with a blank, with this awareness, you know which word has to go into the blank. Before you go to the options, you know the word. That makes it easy for you to answer. It makes it easy for you answer the questions. Please go to the first one. The announcement by Prime Minister Narendra Modi of a scheme to help the urban poor build houses in cities is a signal that the government is to undertake one more plan to address a problem The clue for you, the problem. The problem of what? A shortage in urban housing. The right word is shortage. What is the problem? Here I will write fifth word, shortage in urban housing. Even 5 months ago, its stand was that no new housing scheme had been. Use your grammar knowledge. Had been, you need a verb in the past participle form. And here, expeditious, not a verb. Long, not a verb. Stance, not a verb. And appraisal, not a verb. Only one verb in the past participle form. It becomes easy for you. Had been envisaged. Envisage means what? To visualize. And the right word over here, fourth one. Envisaged following the extension of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban PMAYU till December 2024, with the focus on completion of sanctioned houses. How you should ask a question, then quickly. What is the other word or better word for quickly? Expeditious completion. Answer is the first word here, one. Expeditious completion means quick completion of sanctioned houses. I don't see your responses. Expeditious. Now I see. But an, use your grammar knowledge, indefinite article an, and you cannot use long, you cannot use stance. Only one word you can use. Which one is that? Appraisal. But an appraisal. So what is the right word here? But an appraisal of PMAYU may have caused a shift in, the shift in what? Stance, means a stand taken. Answer is the third word. What are you left with? It also indicates that housing for all is still a long way away. A long way, standard phrase. Away means it is not going to be achieved in the near future. Who has got all correct, all the 6 words, you should be happy. And in the long run, this exercise I'll be bringing regularly. It is going to help you guys. If you develop contextual awareness, you can answer questions based on or related to one, the exam topic cloze test, and also fillers. And besides these two passage are questions related to the meanings of words based on the context. An extremely useful passage. Now let us go to 5 idioms based on all the 6 wonderful, Suresh. I appreciate that. And based on today's editorial. Today's editorial, in a way, related to politics, and based on that 5 idioms, try to answer. Toe the party line, what does it mean? Wonderful, Tripura Sundari, then Suresh, then those who have got all the 6 correct, highly appreciable. Toe the party line, what does it mean? Long way away, that's an important. Far cry, very good, Madhav. I appreciate that. Please answer these. Change the party? No, no. Toe the party line, what does it mean? Comply with the party's ideology. Comply with the party's ideology or the manifesto. Agree to the ideology of the party. Toe the party line. Whatever the party says, you agree. Toe the party line. Comply with the party's ideology. Go to throw in the towel. Actually, this goes more with boxing, but in the context of the editorial, if you take competition or elections, your opponent is a formidable opponent, very strong, and you know you're going to lose. And why do contest? You throw in the towel, means you concede your defeat. Accept your defeat. What does it mean? Accept your defeat or concede your defeat. Surrender. Very good, Tapa. You can also use the word surrender. To vote with your feet. This is a bit difficult to guess. To vote with your feet. Accept the defeat also you can say. Exactly. What is the meaning of the idiom to vote with your feet? This is a bit difficult to guess. To leave. You leave the place without voting. Then to vote with your feet means to leave. Succumb is an important word. Who is that Pandu? Bite the bullet. That's also very good, Suresh. I appreciate your responses, your comments. Wonderful. To walk away. Exactly. You can also say to walk away. You don't cast your vote. Vote with your feet. One horse race. Easy to answer. The election is a one horse race. What do you understand? Some idioms are easy to answer based on the words. You can guess and you can get the correct meaning. It is a one horse race. Means what? Only one strong candidate. Others are nowhere near him. A very strong, only one strong candidate. No competition. Exactly. That is true. And here the last one, a clean sweep. We say it was a clean sweep. Means what? To get thumping majority. I use this expression, thumping majority. To get thumping majority. Clean sweep. Wipe out. Yes. That's all for today's from today's editorial. Hope you guys have got enriched and try to spend some time on important and new words only, then you'll be able to remember. Do remember to subscribe and share. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bumper victory. Who is this? Madhav. Landslide victory. Very good, Tapa. Thumping majority, landslide victory. I appreciate that, Tripura Sundari. Gratitude, sir. You always say that.